learning sponsors. Ellen David Adler in memory of her father Eliyahu Ben Yosef. Those who were inspired by our Rebbe's Emeritus Shula Shapiro, Sarah Stamanko, Bad Meshulam Simcha. Gail and Leslie Kaplan in memory of their parents. Mushka Shprinza Bad Yosef Chaim Bachava, Hanan Ben Moshe Eliezer Bachana. Pesha Bat Shmuel Yitzchak Kalevi Vitzipora, Yisra Ben Yoam Moshe Kohen Bachana. Extra friends of Gladys Sherman, Gutta Bad Meir. Michael Klein and friends of Judah Klein, Judith Tzvi Ben Chaim. Marsha Brana in memory of her husband, Harav Yirmiyah Ben Shmuel. Friends and family of Arthur Ritholtz, Mordechai Yul Ben Baruch Lev Cohen. Friends and family of Sigi Bessler, Shalom Shraga Ben Ov. Friends Harvin Weinstein, Mordechai Ozer Ben Yisrael Amram. Sarah Alpert in memory of her husband, Haratzvi Lipa Ben Hillel. Record friends of Maddie Friedman, Endel Miriam Bat Kalman Ruvain. A month of learning by Ruvain and Susan Podolsky. Susan and Ruvain Podolsky in memory of her father, Simcha Punam Ben Yeshua. Susan and Ruvain Podolsky in memory of her mother, Abad Abraham Dov. Michael and Judith Koretsky in memory of his mother, Bat Avraham. Jack Hillman in memory of his brother, Zeb Yosef Ben Yitzchak. Aaron and Melvin Haller in memory of her Fesik Eliezer Ben Tzvi Hirsch. Barbara Stern in memory of her brother Yisrael Abraham Ben David Mokka. A week of learning by Sharon and Michael Glass in memory of her mother Chaya Bat Abraham Baruch. Charlie Guffenstein in memory of her sister. Of his sister, Sarah Bad Meir. Judy and Marty Engel in memory of her brother Shmuel David Ben Chaim Yosef. Today is the 20th of the month. There are no individual days of learning today. Hashem is having a leak, crank with a field, Velti Shisham Matzlian, for B'nai Shel, good to Ben Shel. Okay, so we're at payoff on a day. How many? Six in the run. Okay, when we really said in the Mishnah, I don't remember, I said if we're going to call a person who has a mashkan, who has a collateral, for the loan, we're going to call that person a paid watchman. So ultimately, we'll say because the person benefits from the fact that he's doing a mitzvah, he's able when he's watching the collateral, he is exempt from giving money to a person at that moment. So he benefits. He benefits from the. He benefits from the paid money. Ironically, although it's very interesting, although like, consider he's free to he saves the money or doesn't have to take the trouble to go to the door, but right, it's an interesting thing. And later we actually have a machlokas which comes out. We say the other way, but whether when you do a mitzvah and have also another motive, so do you get benefit from the mitzvah or not? About a year ago, I had an operation, so when I came out, of the operation, so I saw the doctor. So I told him that that even though he makes a living doing the job, it doesn't take away from the mitzvah. We say that because that's the way I learned here. So we say, but it does take away from the mitzvah. The fact that you have also another benefit, even though you're doing the mitzvah, doesn't take away from the mitzvah. Anyway, so that's what we're going to come to. So today we have a lot of debates about the status of a person holding on to a mashka, a person holding on to collateral, because he's which type of guardianship does he have, or which obligation? So we said in the Mishnah, we said, well, mashkan, we said that if a person lends somebody against the collateral, that person is a paid watchman, really for the reason I said the ultimate. You have to say our Mishnah is against Uri Eliezer. Remember, it's always a problem if an unsigned Mishnah is against anybody. The Tanya we learned, we learned if a person lends a person money against the collateral, and now the mashkon is lost, Yishava, he shall swear. He told Mosov, and that way he swears that the mashkon that he wasn't like any unpaid watchman, that he wasn't negligent, and he still has a right to watch. He's not obligated to reimburse him for the collateral, and he still collects his debt. That's where So Eliezer holds what? Clearly that he's a shomachinam, and as long as he wasn't an unpaid watchman, as long as he wasn't poshay, as long as he wasn't negligent,
he is not responsible. Kiva Amir, Yochel Amar, no. The Kiva says that the borrower can say to him, Klume Hadisani El Al Mashkan, says the whole reason why you lent me money was so that you should be able to collect from that mashkan, of the mashkan, of the masecha. So if you lost the mashkan, you lost your money. That was the point. He's really, so you see what? Why did he lose the money? Because even though he wasn't negligent, he's still obligated, like a paid watchman. He's still obligated for theft, and he's still obligated for theft and loss. Okay, because in those words, he will hold that since the person takes the collateral in order to be able to collect from it, so therefore he loses his money. Now, the thing is like this. His money was in the mashkal. Now, one we have to just understand, we have to say there's three levels. There's a level of negligence. There's a level which is really, it's not, he didn't, it's accidental in the sense of what, even though the person wasn't negligent, it could be stolen or lost. In other words, it really is, so to speak, it's an act beyond his control. He wasn't negligent. If he did anything wrong, it happened without him. Nevertheless, the person was a paid watchman, so they accepted to be more than normally, more than not negligent. They had to be in the positive. They had to take measures to make sure that the thing is not stolen or lost. That's the obligation of a paid watchman. I don't want you to not be negligent. I want you to make sure it's not stolen or lost, or I want you to pay me. That's the deal. Now, the last level is what is true accident or true. It's hard to get in English. I always laugh because in American say acts of God. For a religious person, it comes out a little funny, oh, as opposed to what? It's always hard to understand. But we have to have three levels. We have to have negligence, non-negligence, okay, but not totally beyond the person's control. And the middle category, like theft and loss, which is it's in a person's control. The person can guard for that not to happen. Okay, so it is considered not negligence. On the other hand, it's not absolutely accidental. The guy could have ramped up the level of his guardianship. So here, clearly, so since a paid watchman is obligated to do more than not be negligent, so he has to pay. So you see what? So our Mishnah is against the Eliezer. Our Mishnah says what? That the person is a paid watchman. The Eliezer says clearly he's an unpaid watchman. Gemara says we don't like that. We don't want the Mishnah. We don't want a Mishnah without attribution to be against the Tana. Okay, Zafila Tema realizes mission, but realize the way I can say it's a realizer. Look, Asha, they're speaking to different circumstances. Khan Shemishkan of Bashas Allah. So one is when the person takes the collateral at the actual moment of the of the uh, of the loan, and Khan Shemishkan of Bashas Allah. So one where he takes collateral afterwards when the loan is due and he's taking it really as a form of payment. Now, let me explain what it means. The Realizing holds when you collect a payment at the collateral at the time of loan, you're not collecting you're not taking that in order to collect the money from it. No, it's a marker. It's a way of saying to make sure the guy won't. Just like I told you, you always have a person write a chit, write an IOU, so he won't forget that he owes you the money. So you take collateral. It's like a way of saying, listen, he's not going to deny that he borrowed the money. You have his collateral. So it's not there in order for you to benefit from it, to be able to collect from it, etc. No, it's there. It's there. It's simply as a reminder that the guy won't do it. So if you hold that, so then if that's true, so how come my Mishnah says he's the Shom stuff? Or Lezer says when you take the answer is no. It's two different points. When you take collateral at the time of the loan, there Rabbi Lezer says what? He's taking it only as a marker, and he gets no benefit. He's an unpaid watchman. Rabbi Kiva says no. He's taking it to be able to collect from it, and he's a paid watchman. But everybody agrees when you take collateral after the loan is due, you're taking it to make collection. You're taking it in order to be able to collect. So therefore, what? Then the person is clearly on that collateral. He already is completely responsible because he's taking it as a means of collection. Remember, the shliach basin comes, the representative of the basin comes and gets the collateral from the guy. Pawn shop, right? Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So how Edi so Gemara says 1 second. How can you say that? How can you tell me that the Mishnah is one case and the Bryce is another case? You want to tell me the Mishnah is a case where we took the collateral at the time of the loan, and the Mishnah is a case where we took the collateral after the loan was due, and that's why he's a paid watchman. And the Bryce or Lezer, we took the collateral at the time of the loan, therefore it's only a marker. He's an unpaid watchman. Can't be ha. He says. So what are you talking about? Both the Mishnah and the Brisa, the language was what? Hildeo Amashko, Tani. They both said he lent them money against collateral. You see clearly the collateral was at the time of the loan. And not after the loan. So you can't differentiate the Mishnah from the Brisa and say the Mishnah was what after the loan was due. They were both talking there. And also, I'm still so sure. How do I resolve the contradiction between Relez's opinion of the Brisa that he's a shomer, an unpaid watchman, and our Mishnah says that he's a paid watchman? The kasha, here's where there's no difficulty. I'll explain to you why. Because Khan in the Brisa, okay, what Israel most the Bryce rule says what that he's an unpaid watch because he borrowed because the guy he lent money. So since he lent money and he's getting no benefit from the loan, as you'll see in a minute, so clearly, so he's only an unpaid watchman on the collateral. But what the God? But our mission is talking about what? Noveo Paris, we lent the guy produce. Now you have to understand something interesting. When you lend produce, it's a great thing to do. You wish when you're remember, produce has a problem. It has a shelf life. Produce eventually, it's like fiat money. Eventually, it's not going to have any value. Produce. So everybody wants to get rid of their produce. I don't know about what they do in America, but in Israel, if you buy in the open market, so everybody knows when's a good time to buy. When's a good time to buy? So you buy usually say when the week's produce is finished, you understand, towards midweek before the new produce comes in. That's the cheapest stuff. Why? Because all the stuff that people usually buy towards Shabbos, you understand, to get the fresh produce. So like by Tuesday, etc., they're dying to get rid of everything. You understand why? The fresh produce is going to come. They're going to throw everything out. So that's when you go to the market. I told you, all you Shiva men know all these tricks. You understand? I told you when you go to buy an esrog after midnight on Erev Sukkot. You understand? Because at that point the clock is ticking. The esrog that goes for $300 is clicking down to zero. You understand? So you buy always when the thing starts to lose all value. Also, the time to go shopping for fruits and vegetables is just before the new fruits and vegetables arrive. You understand? Yeah, exactly. So So now everybody's thrilled to lend produce. Why? Because not only have I I got a mitzvah. I lent the guy money. Okay, he wants to borrow. He wants to borrow so much produce. I really, am I thrilled he's borrowing this stuff? Why? Because he just stopped the clock on my thing. He turned my produce into money. He has to pay me back. And I stopped the clock. So when is that Mishnah say? When is the guy Shomer Sachar? Because he's benefiting. He's benefiting from the loan. So therefore, he's a paid watchman. He got paid with the benefit of not losing his produce. Okay? Okay? So again, Gemara says, no, it says you can't do that. You want to tell me the Mishnah is where he lent produce and the Bryce is where he lent money. The son of the Seifa, but the structure of the Mishnah is a giveaway. Why? Because the end of the Mishnah says, if you says, if you lent him money, he's an unpaid watchman. So you lend the produce, Shomer Sachar, he's a paid watchman. That implies the Tanakama Lo Shani. We see that the first opinion of the Mishnah, which is unsigned, make no difference between what the Tanakama, which is the unsigned opinion, is what it makes no difference whether you lend money or whether you lend produce. He's a paid watchman. Okay, don't worry. I can say to you that no, really, what it said at the end is what it said at the beginning. Hula, Rabbi Yehuda. The whole Mishnah is really Yehuda. It's not going to be. Yehuda spoke only at the end. The answer is, like we said many times, the Mishnah was written in a hidden fashion. A part was taken out. It's missing a part. This is the way you have to. The real Mishnah goes like this. For the insiders, they know it. If you lend a guy money against collateral, Shomer Sachar, the person is a paid watchman. When is the person a paid watchman? Paris, when he lent produce. If you lent them money, then he's an unpaid watchman. Why should we do? Because it says, if you lent the money, he's an unpaid watchman. If you lent him produce, he's a paid watchman. So therefore, everything fits with every lesser. When a guy takes, as long as it's money, if a guy takes collateral against a monetary loan, he's only taking the collateral as a marker and not as a form of payment, and therefore he's an unpaid watchman and not a paid watchman. He says, if that's true, come on. He says, now you jumped out of the frying pan, mamish right into the fire. What's worse than having a Mishnah that's written in nobody's name disagree with the Tana? What's worse is having it disagree with Rabbi Meir or Rabbi Akiva. Why? Because Stam Mishnah is Rabbi Meir, and Stam Mishnah, because of Rabbi Meir, Stam Mishnah really is also what? Rabbi Akiva, because Rabbi Meir did everything according to Rabbi Akiva. So now if you have a Mishnah, what's worse than a Mishnah being against the Tana? Being against Rabbi Meir, being against Rabbi Akiva says you got a problem. Now what'd you solve? Now you made it fit for Eliezer. Okay, come on, Rabbi Akiva. Now you set the Mishnah up that it's like Rabbi Eliezer. What he's a shomer. He really is a shomer. chinam on money, okay, and you're against Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Kiva argues with Elazar. You're gonna have it now. Rabbi Kiva said what? Even according to the way you learned it, even on money, he's a paid watchman. It's always everybody takes the collateral as a form of payment. Better the other way. Let's leave it the way we let it. The Mishnah is against Rabbi Elazar, but it's like whom? Like Rabbi Kiva, which is like Rabbi Meir, the way we want it to be. I says the Gemara. Okay, but let's try now. Now I want to understand what exactly is the argument between Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Elazar. I said to you, okay, what's the argument? How come Rabbi Elazar holds that Rabbi Elazar holds it's unpaid watchman, Rabbi Kiva holds it's a paid watchman? He says, let's say like this: the Losha Maskin Shir is easy. Let's say the whole argument is like this, where the collateral is not worth the whole price of the loan. The argument what Shmuel said. Shmuel said, "Hi, man, the Osfi Alpha Zuzu the Babi." Let's say a guy borrowed. A guy lent the guy $1,000. And the borrower just put the handle beside that. Handle beside not worth 1,000. He puts up as collateral a thing that's worth a fraction of the loan. And then that handle of the side was lost. He loses the whole 1,000. Shmuel says, listen, when you put it down, okay, it says even though it's not even worth the money, okay, when the guy puts it down, that represents the whole of the yeah. Why? Why is that? So because you accepted it. You accepted it as the value. Okay, since you took it as a payment, so you got it. What are you gonna do? You lost it. Tough luck. Okay, and he never. Okay, so therefore, okay, so it comes out to you. So what it must be what Rabbi Kiva is like Shmuel, and he put it down in its collection, and therefore the guy lost everything. Elazar disagrees and holds what that the person only takes, like we said, he only takes the collateral as a marker, just as a reminder that the loan was there, and therefore when he loses it, he doesn't lose anything. But okay, now, but that's all true when the collateral is not worth it. When the collateral is worth it, then even Elazar would agree that he is a paid watchman. I says, get out of here. He says, it all doesn't make sense. If the collateral is not worth the amount that the loan was, nobody's going to give Shmuel. Nobody's going to say what you left a $5 collateral and you lost $1,000. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The Shabi Shir Zuze, okay, the answers are clearly we're talking. The whole argument is in a case where what, and clearly what, so we say it's common sense. If the $5 collateral is lost, okay, still the lender can collect all the difference between that and the true price of the loan. He still has the right to collect that amount of loan from the borrower. But the Shabi Shir Zuzi, here's the argument. Okay, come in. Okay, they're talking. The real problem here is when the collateral is worth the amount of the loan. And the real argument of Elazar and Kiva is in principle of Yitzchak. How do you know that the lender totally acquires the collateral? Because it says here when it talks about collateral, the psukim of collateral in the Torah. So one of the things it says, remember we learned that if the person's poor, you took his pajamas as collateral every night, you have to go back and give the collateral back to the poor man. And it says what? The lashon is what? It'll be considered charity. It'll be considered tzedakah. You're doing tzedakah to the guy. I says, 1 second. He says, listen, if he doesn't acquire the collateral, how can you consider it charity? It's not if it's not his. Giving it back is not charity. So you see what we see from the structure of from the language of the psukim that a person takes collateral owns it. Okay, we see what so therefore the lender actually acquires it. Okay, and that's why it's like he's giving stuff when he gives it back to the guy, and therefore what? And therefore he's also, but therefore what? When it gets lost, he lost it, and he's not a shavachin. It was a shavasachar. He owns everything. He has the real owner. So therefore, we're going to say Rabbi Kiva holds like Rabbi Yitzchak. He acquires it, and therefore what? If he lost it, he loses his money. And Rabbi Elazar holds what? That he doesn't acquire. He doesn't hold that principle. I says, get out of here, Mitzvah. How can you say that that's the argument? He says, even though Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Yitzchak's whole principle is only when he took the money, not at the time of the loan, only after the loan was due. Of course, everybody agrees there that he owns it. He's taking it already as a form in order to take payment from it. He never said that. He never said that principle principle at the time of the loan. The truth is, those two we're talking when the shliach basically comes when the loan is due. Allah, okay, what? He says, you have to say like this. He says, everybody agrees. When you take collateral already after the loan is due, not at the time the loan was given, everybody agrees that what? That you, with Rabbi Yitzchak, that the lender has acquired it and he has responsibility. But in our Brisa, the Mishnah B'Shas our Brisa, the argument of the Brisa with the Lezer Rabbi Kiva was when you took collateral at the time of the loan. But they're arguing about what's the rule of anybody who finds a lost object and has to hold on to it till he returns it. What's his law? What type of guardianship does he have? What type of watchman is he? Because we learned Shomer Aveda, a person who's watching a lost object, guarding a lost object that he found and has a mitzvah to return till he returns it. Rabbi Amar, Rabbi says his law is always like an unpaid watchman. He just always obligated to do is not be negligent. Rabbi Yosef says no. He has to be not just not negligent. He has to watch to the degree that it won't get stolen or lost. Okay, and why is he like a paid watchman? Because since he's doing a mitzvah, and at the time that he has to deal with guarding the lost object, he is what? He's osek b'mitzvah. He's doing his mitzvah. And what's the rule? Osek b'mitzvah. A person who's involved in a mitzvah is part of the mitzvah. So therefore what? So therefore, since he's getting rewarded, so to speak, by the fact that he's involved in a mitzvah, being rewarded that he doesn't have to deal with the poor man at that moment. Okay, with the poor man at that moment, he's considered a paid watchman. Lezer holds no. What he says that's not. He's not. And why is that? Because we're going to see. Because we're going to see later. Because Rabbi Yosef, pardon me. So I don't know how far I read. Dietmar, Shomer Aved Rabba said. I don't know how far I read. Dietmar, Shomer Aved Rabba Shomachin. Rabba said he's an unpaid watchman. Okay, Rabbi Yosef Shomer Sochar. So Yosef holds he's a paid watchman because he has the benefit of being involved in mitzvah and being able to take care of the poor man at that moment when he's guarding the collateral. And Rabbi holds what? He says, come on, it's not common enough to consider that a reward. It's not going to happen that much at the moment. He's taking care of the lost object that the poor man is going to come. It's not enough to call him a paid watchman. I lema, so the Rabbi Yosef, okay? So there's no question that Rabbah is against the Tana. Rabbah who said that he's an unpaid watchman, we're going to see he's for sure against one of the Tanaim. The only question is, Lema Rav Yosef Tanaim, maybe even Rav Yosef who said that he's a paid watchman is against the Tana. Why? In which I don't want to say. Okay, that he is against a Tana, against the Tana. When it says low, I don't have to what. The Shomer Veda, the Kuli Alma, okay, Islay Rav Yosef. I can say what? If by Shomer Veda, everybody holds like Rav Yosef. But both Rav Lezer and Rabbi Akiva don't think that Rabbah is against Rabbi Akiva. Everybody, when it comes to guarding, I could say what? Islay Rav Yosef. Everybody agrees with Rav Yosef that what? That he's considered a paid. He's a paid what? Yeah, a shomer socher. He's a paid watchman. Over here, okay. But over here, when it comes to the argument of lending against the mashkon, that's a whole different problem. And why is that? If I didn't say correctly, you'll correct me. The malbatzarch mashkon. What are they talking about? What about the case where the lender needs the mashkon? Remember this, like we learned earlier. Sometimes the lender is allowed to say, listen, I want to use this collateral. So what we'll do is I'll use it, and for the use of the mashkon, I'll be a renter. For the use of the collateral, I'll discount your loan, and I'll rent your collateral, and it'll be very nice, a good deal. I took collateral, and I'll rent it, not to make use of it, and for the rent money, I'll keep discounting from the loan. That's the argument. Marsa, where Rabbi Akiva holds what? Rabbi Akiva holds what? That even though he's getting benefit from it, mitzvah kavi shavo, he still did a mitzvah, okay, that he lent him the money, and every shomer stock, and he's still what? He's still shomer stock. He still gets benefit. No, even though he's getting benefit, he's still a shomer stock. Pardon me. He still did a mitzvah, even though he's benefiting from it by renting it, and using it. He still did a mitzvah to lend the money, and he still gets the benefit of not having to take care of the poor man when he is dealing with the collateral of his shomer. He's a paid watchman. No, lav mitzvah. In that case, since he's getting benefit from it, okay, since he really is doing it for his own benefit, he really wants the use of the, wants to get use of the collateral, so it's not considered a mitzvah, and he's an unpaid watchman. And that's an argument. We said whether when a person does a mitzvah, he also gets a benefit, does he also get the mitzvah that I mentioned before? Abishol said, okay, so now, so Abishol said in the end of the Mishnah, Mutar Adam Lahaskir, a person has a right. If you have the collateral of a poor man, you can just go out and rent it out and do him a favor, rent it out, and take the money that you get for the rent and discount his loan. You're doing the guy a favor. You're helping the guy. I'm Rav Chana about Ami. I'm Rav Shmuel. Now remember, in order to help somebody without the, so to speak, to just go and do it unilaterally, there has to be only upsides. You can't help a person in a way that has some negative. It has to be completely positive. So I'm Rav Chana about Ami. I'm Rav Shmuel. Malacha follows Rav Shmuel. You're allowed to do it. The Alpha Bashol only said you can take this guy's thing and rent it out and help him out by discounting the loan. Ella only by things that they're not going to be devalued through the rental. Ella Bamara, it's only let's say by a shovel, Upeso, a sculpting knife, okay, the cardum, that type of axe or etc. Hold enough fish agrai. Why? Because these things, the rental is really pays a lot. And their devaluation is very small. These things, for example, these are metal things. They don't degrade so much from usage. Some things as you rent them out, they're really going down. See, it's always a ratio. There's always a ratio between the price of the rental and the devaluation of the rented object. So it has to be things where the price is high and the devaluation is small. The ratio of price to devaluation has to be a very big ratio. So you don't have much interest. Right, exactly. Those things they're not gonna go bad. That's why yeah. Word to the wise, if you want to be in the rental business, rent things that don't depreciate. You have to take things that are not going to depreciate much. Amavir Chavis. That's why bicycles are a great thing to rent out because it's so easy to place the parts. It's nothing. Once you have a good frame, it's not a big deal. So very easy to rent. Okay. Anyway, okay, now this is going to be a famous one. The person is transporting a barrel, okay, from one place to another. Okay, he's doing it for the other guy. Whether he was an unpaid watchman, or whether he was a paid watchman, if he stumbled and the barrel broke, okay, Yishava, he just swears that he wasn't negligent, okay, and he is exempt. Doesn't matter, even though we're going to see in a minute. What do you mean? Why? Why should a paid watchman be able to swear that he wasn't negligent? He's responsible for more than that. How's he do it? Eliezer says what? Eliezer says Yishava. Okay, Eliezer says Yishava. Eliezer says what? Pardon me. Eliezer says what? Zevzeh Yishava. He says the truth is, he says I also have that tradition that both of them can swear and exempt themselves, but I'm in shock about it. Why? I don't know why it really works. We'll see in a minute why. Okay, a guy was transferring his friend's barrel from one place to another, and he tripped and he broke it. Whether he's an unpaid watchman or a paid watchman, he swears that he swears and he is exempt. Yeah, he swears. Now, 1 second, I just want to check one thing. Yeah, he swears that he wasn't negligent, that he's exempt. That's the opinion of Rabbi Meir. Good, that's like our Mishnah. Yehuda Meir says no. Yehuda says no. An unpaid watchman can swear, and he's exempt. Well, but what? A paid watchman, we're going to see in a minute, he has to pay. He cannot swear and exempt himself, as we'll see. Lezer Omer, we're going to explain it in a minute. Lezer Omer, he's the third opinion, like we said in the Mishnah. He says, my tradition is that both of them swear, like Rabbi Meir said. But I'm in shock. I'm shocked that they're able to do it. It doesn't make sense to me. So now the Gemara first starts out that Rabbi Meir's opinion doesn't make sense. How can it be that Rabbi Meir says what? That both the Shomer Chinam, an unpaid watchman, and a paid watchman are exempt for stumbling and breaking a barrel. Now you have to realize that what? Yep, by saying that, you have to say that Rameir believes that stumbling, not only is stumbling not negligence, it's completely accidental. It's the true accident. Why? It's not even at the level of theft and loss, because if it's a level of theft and loss, let's say stumbling is not negligence, but it's beyond his control to the degree that theft and loss are beyond his control. He should still be obligated. Rameir exempted both what? Both an unpaid watchman and a paid watchman. It means Rameir holds what that stumbling is absolutely beyond the person's control. It's not even at the level of protecting against theft and loss. If I want to protect against theft, I bury it in the ground. It's over. Here he says it's absolutely not in his control. I got a problem. He says, okay, so Lemain with this other mayor, not Poshehu. So he says what? He says it seems what we learned where mayor holds that both we saw both places the mission of the Brisa that a person who stumbles is not negligent. The truth is, I thought it's even more than not negligent. It's completely accidental. What time you didn't we learn? We have a famous brisa. Nishra kada. Let's say a person's barrel broke below silko, and in the public domain, and he did not remove it. He didn't have time. He didn't have time to remove it. Nafla Gamalo, his camel fell down the public domain, and he didn't pick it up. Okay, he didn't. There was no time, and other people were damaged by the barrel. Okay, or by the camel. Okay, by the camel. So what's the law? Mayor says what the Bezik says the person is responsible for the damage. The rabbi say, listen, he's exempt, okay, from human law. The Chayvadin Shemai, we haven't the last to pay. Okay, and we have a tradition, the Menisko Pashem Plige. We know we've already established it. It's an established we established that the argument is that Rabbi Meir and the rabbis are arguing whether one who stumbles is negligent. Rabbi Meir holds he's negligent, that's why he has to pay for the damages. And the rabbi holds he's not negligent, that's why, except for heavenly law, he's exempt from damages. So how can we have a direct contradiction? When it came to the barrel that he couldn't pick up in time and damage, Rabbi Meir said he has to pay. A stumbler is negligent. And our Mishnah and our Brisa that we had above, he said that he's not negligent. What's going on? Rabbi Lezer Tabra, he says, right, your brother says, right, he says it's a real difficulty, and against our desire, we have to say sometimes it happens, Misha Shana, Zu, Lo Shana Zu. The one who learned the Brisa, who said Rabbi Meir is not negligent. Rameir said he's not negligent. Lo shana, he didn't teach this other Mishnah that says what? This other Brisa, pardon me. The Brisa that said that where Rabbi Meir says he's negligent is not the same tradition as the one who taught Rabbi Meir said he is negligent. We have two Tanaim with different traditions in every Meir. We don't like to say it, but sometimes we're stuck. I'm not just, but continue to explain. So, okay, we have two traditions of Rabbi Meir. One tradition of Rabbi Meir holds that a stumbler is negligent, and one is that he's not negligent. Okay. Furthermore, Vasa Rabbi Yehuda Lemer, was Rabbi Yehuda saying what? No, the unpaid watchman is exempt, but the paid watchman is not. He says Shemachi. So Rabbi Yehuda says Shemachinam Yishav. He says what? An unpaid watchman can swear that he's not negligent. I say Schayi Shalim. Okay, why? But the one who gets paid, he has to pay. Hi Kidine, the unpaid watchman like his law, that as long as he's not negligent, he's okay. But hi Kidine, and the paid watchman like his law, that what? Because Rabbi Yehuda holds it, even though stumbling is not negligent, it's also not, like I told you, true accident. You see what I'm saying? But Meir holds it's not only is it not negligent, true accident. Rabbi Yehuda says no, not negligent. I agree with you, but true accident, it's not. It's like the same level as what? The same level as what? As theft and loss. He's responsible. But the Lezer and the Lezer, the third opinion, what was he saying? Like we saw in the Mishnah. He says, yeah, Gemara Rabbi Meir. He says what? Our tradition, the received tradition that I got from my rabbis is just like Rabbi Meir. It's not only is it not negligent, it's even truly accidental. Nevertheless, to me, but the truth is, personally, he says, that's my tradition, but I have a hard time believing that either of them could be exempt by swearing. Okay, number one. Okay, I understand. On the one hand, I understand why an unpaid watchman he can swear that he wasn't negligent, and he goes free. And we're going to say what? That it's not negligence. But why on earth should a paid watchman be able to swear kilo pasha even when he wasn't negligent? He should still have to pay, because he's saying in theory it really makes sense to him, like what? Like Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said what? It's not true accident. It's more like the level of what? Of theft and loss. I feel Shomachina, but not only that, the truth is I'm not even comfortable with my traditional and unpaid watchman. Why? Because okay, you want to tell me what that stumbling is not negligence. That's good if he's on an inclined place. If he's on a hill, and it's okay. There I can say what it's beyond. It's not negligence. It's more like again, this odds are stacked against them. It's beyond. It's not negligence to stumble. When you're not on an inclined place, me much of a can a person really say what that he was negligent? What idiot can't walk on a straight ground and not trip? It's got to be negligent. I feel it will not be drawn. And even if I admit to you what on an inclined place that a person who stumbles is not negligent, even there I'm not sure that I agree. Parting if that's good. The whole law would make sense where there's no witnesses to tell us that he wasn't negligent. But a place where there's people around, they say, right, let him bring witnesses. In order to exempt himself, and we shouldn't believe him on swearing that he wasn't negligent. Why? The time, because we learned. Esau ben Yehuda says what? When you look at the pasuk about the guardians exempting himself, the pasuk say a row where nobody saw. If nobody saw Shuas Hashem Tiyah Ben Beishnem, then there's a vow of Hashem between them. Yeshua, but they're witnesses. You have to bring a proof. Be potter and to be exempt. So what? In any place where there are other people there, I don't understand how you could just say automatically there's a right to swear. If there's witnesses around, he doesn't have a right to swear. You have to bring the witnesses that he wasn't. So therefore, we have three laws. So right now we're stuck. We left it with what? A contradiction between two traditions on Rabbi Meir, whether a stumbler is negligent or not. Okay, one opinion holds what the stumbler is negligent. One holds the stumbler is not negligent, and not only is not negligent, it's even what it's even a true accident. We have the opinion of Yehuda that a stumbler is not negligent, but it is not a true accident, and therefore what? An unpaid watchman can exempt himself by being not negligent, but a paid watchman, even if he wasn't negligent, still has to pay. And then we have the opinion of Rabbi Lezer who says what? Who says, listen, my tradition is like Rabbi Meir, but in all honesty, I don't know how to back it up. It doesn't make any sense to me. We'll call that a daf. See what this thing is. Yeah. You walk into a hotel and the light shines as a coat, and they give her a ticket. If she doesn't ticket and $50, they're not responsible. If she couldn't pay it, then they're responsible. But is that where there's a set charge or not? Is it a tip or where there's a set charge? Set charge, yeah. If there's a charge, to check it for $1, then they're responsible. If there's no charge, then they're not responsible. So they're saying I'm a shomer chinam if you didn't pay, and if you pay me, I'm a shomer chinam. That really applies, yeah. Most places no charge. Exactly, they're not responsible. It's funny. That's funny. Sometimes when they have to check it, the scripts I check in the back of my mind, I'm being a tipper guy, but I'm thinking, is this guy really gonna put my thing on? I'm gonna give him a tip. Let him make sure he puts it on the thing.
I even see in order to his parking lot, if they're not responsible for the car,
Right.
or in the car.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.